best of the thing I have ever heard so far in my career. I discussed with Paul many times of the different pain areas, the different scenarios, the different challenges. What many times I found while designing, writing different RFPs, working with the many customers, the partners, and then to address that. I think this is where we landed and we are what we call it. And I think it's going to be a good prospect as well. The entire stack which is coming up with the rest of the partners as well. Congratulations to the rest of the partners as well. NetApp, Arista, AMD, and I think the combination as a PolyStack. So to begin with that, hope I'm audible by this way. Right, thank you. So what I'm just going to share that few of the things that as in industry, AI is becoming more and more from day-to-day discussions, the different panel discussions, the technical way, the different use cases, the challenges, what we work on, but nearly when it becomes of a digital infrastructure, that as a growth, that India is moving towards a roadmap where we have to challenge the rest of the world with the vision that our political leadership has devised, or as a citizen we have to contribute on that part. That when being as a technocrat and putting those particular point in those areas, what we found that there were certain challenges. Now, what exactly the challenges we observed at that point in time? I worked on a few of the cases, very big mega scale projects in India, written RFPs as well. By that time, I'm talking about 3.5 years back, that when Delhi City, Power Grid Edge Data Center, as well as the Indian Railway SOC, while I was working on all these infrastructure RFPs, there are major challenges we found that because it was a part of the digital infrastructure, the transformation which has to be happening for their scenarios, the big areas, mega scale, but the entire stack was not there. There was a seamless the connectivity or the integration which was lack that what we found at that point in time. There were certain use cases. Nowadays we can say that AI can use it very simply. The Agentic AI or any AI algorithm can use that. But at that point in time, 3 years back, I'm talking about that Delhi City where any of a female which is there on the road itself and then raising a hand like it, it's more like an alarm. How to derive that? Whether that infrastructure was readily available for us or not at that point in time, that was more like a challenge for us. How we have to do that, because every single product, every single technology, whether it will work in that scenario or the GPUs will be available by that mode or not, and how that infrastructure has to be within that limited budget or not, that was a challenge for us. I think by looking at all these the paradigm shift that what happened in the last couple of years, I think it's becoming easy day by day. And I think with this particular kind of a stack, if you look at it, I'm just hoping that once we will sit on the table itself, being as a partner, you will face out from the customers different challenges itself. You can relate all these particular cases, that how these can be relatively addressed with a certain stack on that part. Now coming back onto a certain enterprise, because it's not limited to the government, public sector, with the safe cities, smart cities, defense, or any critical infrastructure scenarios, but also with the enterprise, BFSI, and then certain manufacturing units, because that's a part of your customer base as well. So even in similar those cases as well, I do have some reference cases in that scenario, where the integration, the seamless integration in the digital transformation journey was really a challenge. Recently we were working with, few of them are there in audience knows it, that recently we were facing certain challenges of the entire integration, how we have to do that. So I think by looking at the Make in India collaboration of all the particular stack all together to address it, seamless integration is going to address this kind of the problem for us. I know that you are aware of that digital infrastructure, so I'll not go on that particular part, but where is the AI is going to make a play in that way. AI now in every single problem, wherever you find out that the answer is coming as an AI, artificial intelligence. artificial intelligence itself doesn't make any difference till the time that the technology won't support it in that way. But how exactly the AI, cloud, edge is going to converge together, because the cases which are coming up, we found those particular challenges at that point in time while with the Highway Authority of India, one RFP was going on, that we found that the challenge was on the edge devices. I think with one of our products, that which PolyStack has it, we would resolve that particular issue. We'll make that particular sense itself, that how we can challenge those issues at that point in time in a cost-effective manner as well. Now, when we look at that the rise of AI era, we talk about ChatGPTs, DeepSeek, and Grok. All these things are coming in, but what the products are coming out of it. But the technology which is coming day by day on the technology side, from the challenges that are provided by the customer itself, I believe that the AI market in every single product is going to make an extra usability on that part, rather than just only to say this, that it is just only for certain prompts which you have to ask for. What is just to redefine my email, that what are the format you have to send it to your boss for the sick leave or for any different termination letters for that. But I think that the technology is much beyond that. How you have to utilize it, the traffic congestion part for that, how the GPUs have to be calculated appropriately in that way, the storage calculation for any different logs which has to be calculated. Earlier, a couple of years back, when the SIM has to send any different logs and the storage capacity was about 180 days you have to maintain it, I don't know that how much that calculated effort everybody had done it on that piece of paper for this. But I think with the advent of an AI, we are going to make some difference out of it. The use cases for the public and private sectors, I just mentioned at the beginning of the speech itself, that there are multi-fold scenarios where AI is going to make an impact for that. Whether it's on the BharatNet, the safe cities, the data, how you have to utilize so that every single department or organization, the enterprises are going to have the NOC, the SOC, the data centers, and they are going to contain the multi-terabyte of the data every single day for it. What is the usability of that data? That AI is going to make that impact, that how exactly the data need to be replicated on that part, and then how you can utilize it. That's going to be the real use of AI. Now, coming on that part, that the pillars, I think in every single AI-ready digital transformation, that every single organization wanted to be secure enough with the cybersecurity structures, the compliance is ready for that. So what are the different pillars you need to make it very strong on that side? So compute, the data store management, connectivity with the networking, very important part. Nowadays what happens that everybody's focus is only on the cybersecurity. Nobody knows that what's happening on the network side, the network congestion, the DNS, the role of the DNS itself. Nobody knows about it, and many of the times it's a very imperative to say that the consultants or the team members or the customer used to say, we can run the network without the DNS itself. It's adaptable, but these are the basic things what we have to look at those aspects for that. I think that the combination we have to look at the bird's view as a 360 degree from the 60,000 feet itself, that it's not only just a component, it's an entire complete stack. It's a complete technology view which you have to look and drive for it. Cybersecurity, important aspect, but as much as you have to focus, integrated approach, and then look at that how you have to regenerate it for it. Finally, it's a governance, regulatory governance part for mighty ISO, NIST, and then different your customer base certifications criteria. All these things will come under the one single scenario. Now, the AI workload demands, I think where the PolyStack has to come over it as a Make in India story, that normally whenever any Make in India comes over it, it always comes over the performance and very best of luck for the team itself and it come with the flying colors. Because this is where that the demand is there for in the market itself. And many of the times the government, the public sector units and the upcoming projects, I'm looking forward for high performance computing as well as the GPUs, CPUs and the FPGAs, the comparison on that part, because the real use cases in the industry is becoming a big challenge. As we are competing with China, we are competing with the very multinational organizations as well as the countries, cross-country country competition structure as well. So I believe that that very best of wishes for the PolyStack team that to come out and then to become one of a day as a multinational company for it. The power and cooling considerations, I believe that as India, we have all the kind of weather conditions. So from the Jammu and Kashmir to Kerala, from Rajasthan to Guwahati, or up to Arunachal Pradesh. So different temperature, different structures, different conditions. So all these parameters have to come into every single portion, and many of the times we found challenges in industry for it. The cloud and edge synergy, I think as earlier mentioned, that edge is going to be like the next revolution in the market itself. There are many of the times in the remote areas where if edge data center or edge computing devices would have been available, might be like as the National Highway Authority of India, entire highway would have been secured by this time. The different safe cities or the public smart cities would have been secured much more way, and then the more and more computational power have been taken in appropriate way. Healthcare as well as the industrial IoT. Normally whatsoever the ONGCs or the public utilities are taking, as government is also putting much more emphasis on the security of those particular devices to look out the different parameters as well. I believe that this synergy has to be working together in tandem as well. The public cloud, which should be India hosted, because we want it as one of the compliance, that should be resided here. So data security is another part of the DBTB Act, so I'm looking forward for the energy of that way for it. The data infrastructure, we have to keep data, the real data pipelines, that how exactly the data lakes and the warehouses need to be into appropriate manner. The data governance, which should be ready with the AI, the artificial intelligence enabled LLMs, which you need to write in such a manner, which should be secure and aligned with the DBTB Act for it. So I believe that all these things, when work on that structure, will come to secure much more. The half of your problems will resolve it there. The next portion, very important one, networking infrastructure. Without this, either you put it any zone as a militarized or demilitarized zone with your perimeter. I think that this networking infrastructure must be very well articulated, very well planned, very well suggested for it. So I believe that with the collaboration of all these products in a one single stack, will take it something more out of it, but there is a challenge in industry as well. Whatsoever we felt, whatsoever we have experienced so far, it has not been appropriately planned by many of either the partners or with the different vendors ecosystem. But I think being as a single ecosystem, if once we collect together, come together on that part, can resolve most of the issues. So cybersecurity, I think nowadays that the AI is actually playing major role for cybersecurity. Every single tool is AI enabled. Every technology which is there with the advent of the new trends, that every different mechanism is coming as an automated as well as an orchestrated well with the AI itself. That whatsoever the experience, the data you have already experienced on that part. But finally, the new technologies, the legacy architectures have been totally overruled by the zero trust, the zero trust networking. I think that the new mechanism you have to deploy, any of a size, any of an area, any of a network, any of an infrastructure, you need to deploy the new advent into the technology, which can make it for the AI infrastructure as well. Regulatory and ethical compliances, as I earlier mentioned, that it totally depends on your customer's base, the kind of compliances, the kind of data they are adhered to, and exactly what level they wanted to pertain it. But when we look at the digital transformation, it's not limited towards the compliances, but also the efficiency and the optimization of your entire performance for the user's accessibility as well. Now, sustainability, when looking at that, because we do have many of the scenarios where we look at the green data centers, how much of a carbon footprint you have it, being as an OEM, being as the company which provides such hardware, that you have to also look at that aspect as well. As we are going more towards the digital transformation, we are leaving the much more carbon footprints as well. Now, but how we can reduce that, how we can make green data centers, the AI for the energy efficiency, and carbon-aware AI transfer model as well. So on the basis of that how exactly you wanted to take your data, it totally depends on the different modes of your entire secure, the green data centers, the best and efficient network infrastructure. One of the India's Digital India Plus AI initiative, where I would like to take for n number of use cases for that, but I believe that due to the time constraint, we can just talk offline if anybody would like to discuss on that part, because we are working on multiple projects with the AI initiatives where AI is playing very important part for it, and the National Data Governance Framework as well as the BharatNet, which is coming up with a NOC. Near about 16 different state NOCs are going to be deployed, and the huge data deployment is going to be placed for this. The second case study for the private sector transformation, where the any of your manufacturing unit, which has asked for that they wanted to go for the compliances for ISO 27001, their entire infrastructure must be optimized very well, and then with the use and advent of an AI to be deployed within their infrastructure, where the parameter zone, the network zone, management zone, demilitarized zone, militarized zone, and finally the security zone to be deployed, and all together should come into one single pane of glass for that. That's a way that how you have to deploy that AI in mode for it. So the roadmap to all of us that we have to make it the AI ready. It's a phase-wise maturity model which we need to look at. Or we are the stakeholders, being as a partner, being as a customer, being as an OEM, being as a consultant, being as any other role which we used to play for that. But I think it should be in a conjunction, and we should be in a tandem to integrate with all the roles which we have to play in part. Investment or priorities, that it totally depends that what are the rules, because being as a customer, our first and foremost requirement is that it should be a lowest one, that the priority will be given to the lowest customer, the lowest budget for that and what. But I believe that the technology must be on the front, and then we have to look at what is the best and optimized solution for it. My conclusion for and call to action for all of us for that building foundational readiness for AI, we should not jump it directly towards AI, because we are still to do something in the basic infrastructures, the basic compute and storage part, basic networking and its associated applications, and finally we can embrace the innovation, policy and collaboration. That we can do it, but for me, it's an AI will only be as strong as the infrastructure beneath it. My very best wishes to the entire PolyStack team with the associated partners. I believe this is going to be the best of the stack, and we can pitch it for many of the customers are coming for the next challenges for that. Thank you so much for having me here.